What's up? Hey, hope everybody had a lovely day today. I've been asleep all day. I traveled all last night. Got here at about 6 a.m. Slept all day. But I'm gonna be brief. I was just thinking about, I'm always in a mode. I'm always in think mode. Straight up. That's the only way you can figure shit out, man. You got to apply actual thought to actual events and occurrences. And I know a lot of time, like those of us who were involved in the so-called movement and promotion of our people and stuff, it seems like we be coming with and I'm not gonna say it seems like, I know oftentimes we are coming with things that's unfamiliar to the average person. You know what I'm saying? Black, uh, white, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? That's why we get so much resistance, is because of the fact that the people who are resisting us, they legitimately don't know also. And the reason why the response of our own people is at such a failing rate. The reason they're so slow to accept things is because of the fact that they don't have the luxury of memory recall. you know, and when I say memory recall, I was just talking about this with someone. We kind of voiced this out loud, talking about it. No matter, certain adults hold different principles and stand on different things, abide by different things, because of the fact that they were reared up in a certain type of way. So those of us who are involved, we have to be mindful of the people that we're trying to reach. A lot of them have no memory recall. They can go back to no point in their life when somebody in there that immediately influenced them that was pro-black. Somebody that felt a certain type of way, always a positive way toward black issues. Someone who was involved in the community and things like that. You know, and I have that luxury because of the fact my dad was pro-black. My dad was actively involved in the NAACP. My dad was a minister. He was a preacher, a pastor for a long time. And his friends, I can recall that when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? Him and his Mason brothers, or him and his fellow preachers, or whatever. They was talking about our causes. When they got off from work, they would go have their little powwows, and oftentimes I would be right there. Some of my friends may be right there, but I was always one of the ones that, grown men back then didn't allow children to get in their business. Like, man, y'all go over there with the children. But I was always one of the ones who they had to tell to get away. Like my little friends and stuff, they go immediately be like, oh yeah, our dad is talking, we can go play. But I used to be right there soaking that shit up. And didn't even, I wasn't even aware of what I was doing. I always wanted to be important, flat out. I always aspired to be important. I always wanted to talk about relevant shit, because that's what I saw my daddy doing. He was talking about relevant shit. My daddy wasn't a bullshitter. You know what I'm saying? My dad wasn't involved in, he was one of the men, he was strictly by the Bible, and he felt like his talk should be indicative of his walk. The two should complement each other. He didn't talk about bullshit. And I'm the same way now. I don't like to talk about bullshit. I like to talk about shit of substance. I like to talk about world changing shit. You know what I'm saying? I've always, and in every facet of life that I've been in, I've always been there. Nobody can say, if they do, I can't say what nobody can say. But if they say it, they lying. I ain't never been a bullshitter. I like to be involved in substance conversations and stuff. Even when I thought I was woke, I realize I'm woke for real now. But and there's various levels of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? But I realized, like, from talking to, man, a lot of these 20-somethings. I got a partner in Vietnam right now. He's like 24, 26 years old, something like that, and he's a teacher over there. And he pro-black. I really I made a post last night talking about other beings contacting us, and I really think he another being, seriously, because the dude be on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes I'm like, hold up, bro, how you grew up in the States and you on this shit right here, but the dude on another level. And when I talk to him at his age, and I've talked to other guys, I got another friend from Baton Rouge. He's 21 years old, man. That dude teach me so much shit. teach me a whole. He's taught. I haven't been in contact with him recently, but you know, he taught me a lot of stuff, and it's not. That's why I always say that the younger generation on a different frequency than what the older generation is, and we got to meet up with them at the point where they are, instead of influencing them to dumb down their consciousness. Because this dude grow up in, you know, not the best home environment, and when we speak of woke people, his mother and his brothers, I met one of his brothers, man. Them people, they don't fit that. But guess what? He grew up in the same household, and he on some other shit. Period. You know. And he just been real influential in my learning, you know. I know a lot of stuff. I taught him shit, but I'm just saying, you know, at 21 years old, man, the dude had taught me a lot of stuff and pointed me in different places to research that I had no idea this shit was even out there. Shit that just come from his spirit, you know. But I'm talking about memory recall and how, you know, the people that we trying to reach, you can't be ultimately so discouraged to where you just write them off because of the fact that they have no point in their life that they can go back to and realize that, hey, this is the way you're supposed to be. A lot of us grew up with, you know, seeing our daddies and them greeting each other with the black power fist, you know, and then we did the same thing, you know, so that's always been there. We've always been aware of what's going on in the world, and those of us who do fit that description, fit that bill, we got to realize that it's for a time such as now. You know, you don't have that knowledge for nothing. It's so that you can join the fight. It's so that you can be involved in what's going on, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you ain't making no videos, no posts, nothing like that. But guess what? You're supposed to be talking to and affecting the people in your immediate surroundings, you know what I'm saying? But also, if you're trying to become more conscious, man, you have to make the first move. Flat out, you got to make some real positive moves, man. You got to like pro-black posts. You got to share pro-black posts. People got to know that you own this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they gonna say. He done got on that black power shit. She done got on that black power shit. Man, you supposed to be on that. You're black. You are black. Don't let nobody make you feel guilty about siding with your people. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be siding with Colin Kaepernick. And something else, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to comment this morning on David Banner video because, you know, and apparently, you know, it probably wasn't meant for me to comment because I follow David Banner and I appreciate what he's doing and things. But I'm going to just say it right now on my video. Man, this shit is not about getting Colin Kaepernick back in the National Football League to be a fucking slave. Because obviously he ain't on that level anyway, you know what I'm saying? He took a knee, you know what I'm saying? He was one of the ones that initiated this, you did. He wasn't the first, but he's one of the ones. He joined, that's what, man, he's not the first. There have been plenty of people who've taken this approach toward our issues, you know what I'm saying? So when we're protesting, it's not about trying to get Cap in the league. I think that's where we're losing a lot of black people at, man. Actually, I don't give a fuck about Cap getting in the league. You know what I'm saying? I liked him when he was at the 49ers, you know. But, shit, I ain't even watched that shit in 2 years. I ain't watched that shit. I ain't watch it while he was taking a knee. You know what I'm saying? Because, for one, my team was losing, and it had nothing to do with... Before he started taking the knee, they were losing. And I stopped watching it. When Kobe Bryant got hurt, I stopped watching basketball also, and all of this shit affected my consciousness because the time that I was spending in front of the television, cheering these fucking teams on and shit, I started devoting that time to reading and studying and watching the History Channel and Googling shit and just really getting in touch with myself and getting information, you know what I'm saying, and just, you know, it was a real influential time in my life. So you got to understand, man, them boys going to get paid whether you watch that shit or not. You heard me? Them boys gonna get paid regardless. You feel me? So it ain't about us watching. It's about us taking a solid stance behind these boys that are promoting our shit. We supposed to find that shit out the next day. We supposed to find that shit out, Googling it. We supposed to see that shit in our feed, because NFL gonna make sure they put it in the feed and show everybody that all these boys took a knee and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to watch them fucking games. We do not have to do that. We're supposed to be supporting our people. So, man, you know, whenever you're seeing positive black posts and shit like that, shit that you agree with, man, this is important. I ain't saying just, you know, it's a process. I realize that it takes courage to post certain shit on your page. It takes courage to lend certain opinions towards certain subjects, and then you may not be gifted with that. So that's why it's important that we support each other. You know, you support people like me, David Banner, Umar Johnson, man. I don't look at these people personally, you know what I'm saying? I look at their lifestyle as far as how they walking this shit out and the things that they're saying, man. I'm looking at their fearless character, you know, and that's what I support. So, you know, we get, like I say though, we got to be mindful, man, to not just trip out on those of us who are responding slow because of the fact that they have nothing to think back on, you know what I'm saying? They really don't have nothing to wake them up. You know, if we stop doing what we doing, if we stop posting what we posting, they never gonna wake up because they never gonna hear it. You got a lot of households right now that don't watch none but this black exploitation shit. You know what I'm saying? You got households that only watch Power and Scandal, if that still come on, you know. Them shows like that, fucking Stores, whatever the hell the name of that shit is. Not the station, the show with Queen Latifah. Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, or whatever the fuck. I'm not even current on that shit, you know what I'm saying? Or if it ain't nothing but some dumb Walking the Living Dead or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They ain't catching on to the scientific inferences of those shows right there, you know what I'm saying? Them the type of shows that can wake you up because they got shit going on and they're showing you chemical warfare and stuff like that. But you got people who only have their televisions on bullshit. You got people who never gonna research anything the news say. They gonna believe right the fuck what the people say and just gonna run with it from right there. And those are low frequency human beings, but guess what? They ours. And so we gotta win them for ourselves. So the only way we can win them is to keep in mind the plane of life that they're on. You know what I'm saying? They on a low frequency lifestyle. You dig? They vibrate low. The vibrations are very, very low. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, in our love for them and in our need to uplift our people, man, we got to be mindful of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, because certain things not gonna be changed with a Facebook post. Certain things with one Facebook post, you know. Certain things not gonna be changed with one video. It's gonna take time, you know what I'm saying? Because this shit didn't get like this overnight. So it's important that we realize that, you know, we got to be committed to this shit and really, really be committed and devoted to our mission and to whatever our individual visions are, because it's gonna come together collectively, you know what I'm saying? So man, you know, I just wanted to put that out there in the universe, man. Look, hey, you watch this video, I appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram, Mr. Black _. Look me up on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, man. Like my videos. I ain't got before. This about to be fire when I put this one over there, if it's saved to my phone, you know. But yo, man, fuck with me. Follow my Mr. Black page too on Facebook, man. And it's important that y'all, like I say all the time, it's important that you click like and share on whomever stuff, or else it can't get out there because these people practicing censorship. You know what I'm saying? They only let 2 or 3 people see our posts, if anything. So if you one of the ones to see it, man, support us, man. Support somebody that you know. Support somebody that you feeling what they putting out there, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, this shit for all of us, you feel me? I love y'all. Y'all have a good evening.